some women, and I would say the majority of women, aren't used to men that dress in a certain type of way, as far as suited and booted,
Can't make this up.
pocket thing, like,
Square.
all of the things that some women they'll like, that'll turn them on, but some women are intimidated by that. So they see the guy that's, in the Nike joggers or whatever, and they're like, oh, okay, I can bag this nigga, or I can talk to this nigga easy.
Could it also be that the guy in the suit represents an element which is they don't feel they can control? Uh-oh. Did I just say that? Ooh. That the guy in the street gear is, well, yeah, he's hood and everything else, but I think I can control him. Whereas the suit represents power. I don't know about him. I might not be able to put it on him and keep him coming back. Welcome back to Money, Marriage, and Media. Today we are with We Need to Talk. And the title is Bad Boys Are Better. Let's see what we got.
And then complain about the project being a project. Instead of the guy saved his dominoes in your phone, who you know is ready to give you the world, but you don't really want him. So like, why do black women tend to have a preference for the project over the good dude?
Personal opinion, I think it's because of the way we're raising our kids. We're not requiring them to. We're not helping them develop their relationship skills soon enough. So, a lot of times, in this case, our women will make immature decisions, and the prime example is that when you ask these women in their late 20s, early 30s about the guy, when they met, who they were dating when they were 22. Oh, I was young and stupid. I was young and dumb then. I didn't know any better. Translation, you weren't mature enough. So you weren't really paying attention to what was, your relationship skills hadn't developed enough for you to be able to tell the difference in somebody who is actually good for you and somebody who just makes you feel good. So, personal opinion, I don't know. I could be wrong, though.
Yeah.
And again, you can answer this as yourself. You can answer this from the perspective of like conversations you've had with other women. You're in, the thick of things more than me as a nigga. So I can only go off of speculation, but you know what it is.
Yeah.
Does she, though?
I think that a lot of women out here, including myself at one point, are very broken. And good relationships, as far as being able to accept a person that's just good to you, and they're good for you, and they might not be able to check all the boxes, but you're like, okay, I see this person and they're really good for me. Let's go ahead and settle it down. That comes from like a deep sense of just like a healed individual. So like, if you're just like broken, I feel like you're always groveling for something.
She says broken, I say immature.
So women want that man that's like, they don't exactly treat me the way that I want to be treated. Like, we know that nigga don't treat you right. But if you're not healed enough to understand how someone is supposed to treat you, then none of it really matters. And we weren't really, okay, I can't say we. I'm going to say the people that I have come in contact with. We weren't like given step-by-step instructions on like, this is exactly how things should go. It was just kind of like going with the flow type of thing. And when you do that and you have so many like external influences like friends in high school, college, education system, all of the things, it's easy to get side railed and it's easy to be influenced. So if we're not healed, our parents aren't healed and our grandparents aren't healed. And it's just like a whole cycle of things. So yeah, that's my answer to that question.
I disagree. Like I said, I think it's more immaturity than it is about being healed. Because if a person's never been through anything, then what's the explanation for that? I mean, because they're in that same scenario, they still chose the bad boy, even though it's their first relationship. Well, how is that possible? Guys, excuse the fireworks. We're on a holiday weekend. It is what it is. But we're going to try and keep it going because I got to get these videos out. But anyway, like I was saying, I think it's more of we just are not raising our kids to be emotionally mature when it comes to relating to the opposite gender. So you grow up with these ideas in your head that are not they're not conducive to a long relationship. When we're younger, we prioritize the things that we want when we want them, which is usually right now. He makes me feel like this. Well, she got a fat ass, and that's all I'm thinking about. Say it works. This is why I say kids, and it's not just women that do this. Men do it too. You get attracted to her body type and you know her sexuality, and not realizing that she's still just a POS. I mean, her attitude sucks, but we let her get away with everything because she's fine. And it's like, later on you learn, okay, nah, this. I'd rather go down in looks and go up in cooperation because I'm not dealing with that anymore. Every guy has that point, but let's keep going.
So they've done like surveys where, like, let's say a male influencer, or I'm actually about to combine two questions: a male influencer or stylist, for instance, will put on a suit and that type of swag, and you know, go out and carry out a survey with women, like, and then he would go out again in street style and carry out a survey. And the survey was like, which style do you prefer? The overwhelming majority of women voted street style over the suits. And when I say suit, like, these are tailored James Bond looking niggas. So
could that be possibly because of low self-esteem? It's like, well, nah, I don't trust the man in the suit. You know, I don't deserve the man in the suit. But I think it's more as I don't trust him because we're raised to believe that I don't want to go down a rabbit hole. But basically, it's class warfare. We're taught that rich people are bad, evil, mean, and you know the non-rich people, I guess is the best way to put it, you should trust them more because they're more real.
The first question is, why is that? Mm-hmm. The second half of that question that kind of ties into the first half is, you know who Broderick Hunter is? He's a male model.
He has the wife or the girlfriend that's chocolate kind of?
Yeah. But good looking dude, handsome dude, right?
Absolutely.
They did a social experiment with him as well, where they put him in a bar setting. This was staged, obviously. And they recorded him with two different demeanors, and then they showed the recordings to a group of women. The first demeanor was more of a... So in both clips, he was sitting at the bar trying to get the attention of some woman the other side of the room, right? Mm-hmm. And the first one, he was more like stoic, more somber, almost like, you know what I'm saying?
What was he wearing?
Same thing in both. Yeah, the clothes are inconsequential here. This is just the look, right? Okay. And then in the second one, he was more so like happy and goofy, like he was smiling, hey, you know. And the overwhelming majority of women voted for the, you know what I'm saying, the serious, stoic, somber guy, the bad enigma guy, right?
Could that be because inherently we understand that relationships are about balance, And that often because women view reality through their emotions, they know that I don't want somebody who is overly emotional because I'm supposed to be that. I need somebody who can be stoic for when things are not going my way, and I can have somebody to lean on.
So the first question is, why are women more attracted to the street style versus the suit style? And why are women more attracted to the more stoic, serious guy, bad boy, versus the smiling,
kind of the
happy
opposite.
guy?
Because it's kind of the opposite, right? Okay, so I would say, and this is just my theory, so sometimes, not for me, but some women, and I would say the majority of women, aren't used to men that dress in a certain type of way, as far as suited and booted,
Can't make this up.
pocket thing, like,
Square.
you know, all of the things that some women will, they'll like, that'll turn them on, but some women are intimidated by that. So they see the guy that's, you know, in the Nike joggers or whatever, and they're like, oh, okay, I can bag this nigga, or I can talk to this nigga easy.
Could it also be that the guy in the suit represents an element which is they don't feel they can control? Uh-oh. Did I just say that? Ooh. That the guy in the street gear is, well, yeah, he's hood and everything else, but I think I can control him. Whereas the suit represents power. I don't know about him. I might not be able to put it on him and keep him coming back because reasons, insert high value commentary, etc. Let's keep going.
But a nigga that might be suited and booted might be, I don't know, just a little bit more intimidating. They might come off in conversation as far as like, I couldn't keep up with this person. A lot of people, no matter the race, don't really dress like that. They don't, like, on an everyday basis, unless maybe you're like in Wall Street or something. They don't dress, you know, suited and booted. Most people are kind of chill, especially because of the pandemic. Like, you're really probably not going to run into somebody that's like all dressed up, you know? However, attraction, more than likely that woman is attracted to the guy that's like suited. Because when I think of, going to your question, when I think of a guy that's suited,
If that's the case, is there some level of fear there?
Obviously, depending on the person, I do think of somebody that will be a lot more stoic and a lot more aware of his demeanors and like the way he carries himself than maybe somebody that's just more lax. And I know this is just there could be someone stoic that's wearing joggers, but mystery and stoicism and silence is very intriguing to women, and we'll take it back to primal times, like I love to do. I don't trust the goofy nigga to protect my kids, because the goofy nigga is over here having side conversations while the nigga that really runs shit is probably not talking much. Is probably in conversation that's more about business. So not to say, this is kind of probably very much off track. We don't know people. The goofy nigga could be the stoic one behind closed doors. Who fucking knows? But I think that women are more attracted to first impression, observant men that are not as talkative. It's an attraction thing. And women are also very talkative and they're very outgoing, this and that. So it's like
Balance.
we're just probably more attracted to the one that's opposite. That's opposite. Not to say that the one that's not, stoic isn't the nigga running shit, this and that. Women are just more inclined to find the one that is in more control. And a goofy nigga laughing and doing all the things, it's like, all right, calm down. You know, not as much trust. So, yeah.
Why are y'all in such a rush to get married?
Oh. Okay. Because of biology.
No, I don't think so. I think that I think today there are more women who are not interested in marriage than there actually are. I know most women say, most women give off the impression that they do want to be married. But I think secretly there is a growing percentage of women who are more so afraid of it. So, because realistically, we are waiting too long to get married. This goes back to what I said before about, we're too emotionally immature, and we got to do a better job of raising our kids to be actually ready. Because in personal opinion, I think that the best age for marriage is going to be around 25, because so many benefits come from that, right? You reduce the amount of baby mamas in the community. Because if you're lowering the age of marriage, that means that there's a significant number of women who are still childless at that age, and they still want a kid. But if you're getting married, then all of a sudden now you take that same woman, now she has multiple kids, but it's within a marriage. The other thing it does is that it doesn't. You're not rushing up against the high risk pregnancy thing. Because when you get married after 30, well, if we want kids, we got to start now. Versus at 25, do we want kids? I kind of do, but it still gives you time to build a solid foundation for your relationship. Because believe it or not, adding kids to any relationship is a stressor. And if you have a cracked foundation to begin with, and you're talking about building a mansion on top of it, okay, well, you're going to have problems in the future. But most of the time, we don't think about things like that. That's why I say at 25, you have some time. You and your spouse can build that stability, build a relationship, get to know each other better, and then make that decision. And by that time, you might not even be 30 at that point. So it would be a lot easier for you to carry a child to term too. But I don't want to keep going off on that because we might be going in the wrong direction. Let's go.
Naturally, because of biology. But like societally, because of biology, if you think about it too. You only have but so many years. So it's like biology says that you need to get her done. But society also like used that and was like, okay, let's hurry up and get it done, I guess you could say. So that's a pretty simple one because of biology. Yeah.
Okay. Mm-hmm. I mean, to elaborate on that, just so we can make it a little bit more like
personal, not so much logical.
Black, because that's what this is about.
Black people.
Yes. Why are you in such a rush to get married at the detriment or disregarding what the guy is ready for, where the guy is mentally?
Yeah,
Well,
see, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna say this is that question is built on a how do you say this? A false narrative. Because again, most black people don't get married until after 30. And that's usually by choice. Because I have a working theory that says that, when you're single and you're 30, chances are you already met your husband and you blew it. The guy you qualified for, you already met him. And for whatever reason, y'all didn't get together. And that might have been your only shot. So now you got to deal with somebody who's, because chances are you probably known him for a while, but now you're out here trying to meet somebody brand new and you got to have the vetting process in place. You got to take time to get to know them, but you're still running against high risk pregnancy. See how this works? I think what happens is that because the vetting process is broken, we have unrealistic standards about who we qualify for, both men and women. Because this is why I say at 25, it's just it seems to be the magic number. Because from a guy's perspective, I'm not necessarily worried about is she here for my resources. Because most men at 25, you ain't got no resources. I mean, you're really just entering your career. I mean, you've probably been in the job market for a while, for a couple of years, but you're starting a career. And at the beginning of most careers, there's not a lot of money, right? So you guys have a chance to build a bond together because she's there for you. But that's the other thing that comes is that you guys can build together versus, you trying to deal with the guy who's already built. This is the benefit for women. If you're working with a man and you guys are going to build together, usually average men have way lower standards when they're younger than when they get older. And I think that's actually a positive thing because, again, when you get married at that age, that means that you don't have to waste a lot of time out here chasing the wrong women because that's very time consuming. Instead, you have more time to focus on your purpose. But you know what? Like I said, I don't want to go too far because we might be getting off topic. So back to the video.
Like, that would assume that the person that you are rushing it for is indeed not ready. There's a lot of men that are out there that women don't choose. And the woman might, be trying to rush it, but they're trying to rush it with the person that they want, quote unquote.
I would say that happens a lot.
So it's like, I don't know. We know that biology says that we want to have kids. So that's the number one thing. Marriage is just the protection that comes with, making sure that if I were to have these children, it's just not me out here in the world. Because in the past, you're like, okay, my grandparents weren't out here in the world, or my grandmother wasn't out here in the world just by herself. So I think that we don't choose very well, right? And we have
said that a couple times
to settle down. Every woman has an option to settle down, like tomorrow, for sure.
Yeah.
Every woman can settle down.
You say there's dominoes in your phone.
Yeah. Everyone. I don't care what you look like. Everyone has a nigga that they, I can say nigga, but okay. Everyone has a nigga that they know. If you come to them, you're like, all right, let's get it. They'd be like, bet, let's do it. But
but again, emotionally, we're not emotionally mature enough to recognize that the characteristics that turn into that make a man beneficial in the long run. And the amazing thing is that I don't think women are supposed to be able to tell that. This is why the vetting process is so important, especially when you're younger. Now, I do think there is a threshold there because after 30, you pretty much, the vetting process is like you should have learned how to vet men from the patriarch in your family. After 30, you should be on your own because that man needs to move into the next phase of his life, or the father needs to move into the next phase of his life. It's because he may particularly have younger daughters who he needs to focus on like a laser, But I think that, a lot of these relationship topics boil down to just four. They boil down to four pillars, and the first three pillars are they're connected. And the first one is the way we raise our kids. We spend enough time talking about that. I'm not going to go into that. The second one is the vetting process. We hit on that a little bit, which is also, by the way, why a lot of people both men and women, are afraid of marriage. It's because, they don't know how to pick. And then this is when usually the anti-marriage guys, they'll come in and say, 50% divorce rate and blah, blah, blah. Yeah, but if you know what? If you had a vetting process in place, you do know that the chances of divorce actually go down, right? I don't know why we never talk about that. It's like divorce rate there is a risk involved, but there is such thing as risk mitigation, though. Meaning that, if you do this, there's less likely a chance that you're going to get divorced. You combine, string enough of those things together, you might have something, right? But the vetting process is broken, right? And then our concept of marriage. A lot of times, men and women will only look at marriage like maybe two, maybe three different ways. It's like we're the horse with the blinders on, and it's like we can't see anything but what's straight ahead. And then if our relationship is not working like that, then all of a sudden that's when you get this is too hard. It shouldn't be. We shouldn't have to work this hard at marriage. This is too stressful. I can't do this anymore. And you get the standard, the standard rhetoric of people who have not realized that, yes, relationships take work, constant work. You think you're about to get something that's beneficial as a legacy that goes beyond your lifetime, and you don't have to constantly work at it? Come on now, that's delusional. Okay, but yeah, the concept of how we view marriage, we need more examples of different ways that marriage can work, so we have, a better understanding of it. The last category is finances. And you guys are going to have to check out the money playlist just to get the tip of the iceberg on that. But the first three are so important because they work together. And until we have at least a minimum short-term solutions for all three of those, we're never going to rebuild our community. It's just going to stay like it is, if not get worse. Finances, if you don't fix the first three, then, generational wealth is a wasted conversation. It just is. Because you don't have anybody to pass it down to. All right. So, guys, let me know what you think. I think we definitely had high-level conversation here. Shout out to We Need to Talk. This young lady, I actually think I met her before at because We Need to Talk just had a live event, and I think she was there if I'm not mistaken. If it's you, go ahead and tag yourself. But wait, you don't. Wait, I can't remember if she had a YouTube channel or not. I don't know. I know you gave me your contact information. I for whatever reason it's gone. I can't find it, so I'm sorry about that. But hey, definitely high level conversation. But we're gonna have to come back to We Need to Talk again. So I'm gonna stay ghost the next time. Oh, before I leave, guys, we have channel membership now. Go ahead and sign up for that. You guys are gonna get some exclusive content. I got to set it up to where you guys we're going to be doing early releases, so you get early access to videos, and also I'm going to be throwing some. At this point, I think I'm going to be throwing some polls in there as to which content creators that I will react to next. But again, you only get access to that if you're a member. So go ahead and sign up for that. And yeah, I am going to stay ghost to the next time. Peace.